This is John Swartz, CEO of Perfectionist Auto Sign Security. I've been in the industry for 27 years. Store culture for me and Perfectionist Auto Sign is a deep one. Being in the industry as long as I have, I've worked at some pretty good stores and I've worked at some that weren't too good. So I feel like store culture is some things that have grown over my years of being around. I worked at a pretty amazing store, actually here in Alaska, that had good culture and bad culture. The good culture is we took so much pride in what we did, and we kind of carried ourselves as the best, things like that. So when we would go to other places, people are like, wow, you work at this shop, man, that's amazing. And at the time I was just cleaning the floor, so it didn't mean much to me, but at the same time it meant a lot to me because I was part of that crew. The bad part of that store culture, what I feel like is something huge for perfectionists, is that there was no growth potential there. So I feel like as a CEO, as an owner, the president, whatever you are, things we need to work on is creating an environment for growth for our employees. And I think that's something huge. A lot of people, and some people may not know, but most people know that CompuStar Security and Perfectionist are linked together. CompuStar started here in Perfectionist, so we're the home of CompuStar. The nice thing about that is it's given us a lot of growth on the aspect of a global level. We've got to meet a lot of people. I was the third employee at CompuStar, so I got to travel a lot. I get to meet people, and I get to see these amazing stores all over the world, and then I bring back parts of those back to Perfectionist. So a big aspect of it is, if we have an installer that's worked with us and they get pretty good, it's this opportunity that we can send them to Seattle to work for CompuStar, where a lot of people may not have that option. I think another thing too is a lot of business owners like to create an environment to where they have a constant employee. I like to create bosses. I was lucky to have a great mentor that helped me become a boss that I am now. So what that means is, to me, is I feel like I'm the type of employer that likes to create my own competition. So a lot of the local businesses here, I've had the pleasure of having them as an employee, or they've been under my wing in some way or another. So a couple of the shops here are now my competition. So a lot of people don't like competition, but I do, because I feel like it brings out the best in us and it makes us work harder to get to the next level. So a lot of parts of our store culture that we like to work with our employees is team building, trainings, different things that get us all together, and I have a very low turnover rate, which is really nice because I think that a lot of our employees love being here. Perfectionist is, to me, kind of the standard, especially for Alaska. We take a lot of pride in that. Every one of our shirts, we put Retailer of the Year on, and we want them to embody that. That's part of our mission statement. I read something the other day that said, success without fulfillment is failure. And I like that a lot because I feel like, since we take a lot of pride, and of course, everyone says this is a family atmosphere. Yeah, the same type of thing. But truly, Aaron Garcia, my install manager, he's been with me since he's 17. He's 28 now. Amari, my daughter, she been at the shop since she was 5, and now she's 23, and she runs, 2 of my companies. It's pretty amazing to me how these people have grown with me. So we take a lot of pride in that. We have a lot of trainings, like I said. Funny today is CompuStar is actually here doing a training for us. One of my guys is flying out to do another training. We've had Brian Schmidt from Mobile Solutions come to our store, and we've gone to his place down in Arizona. I invest into my people, I invest into my business, with our tooling, the trainings, and I feel like a big part of that is the fact that we can say the only limitation you have here is you. We are blessed to have a lot of access to great people, great information, great tools, and that's a big deal. A lot of shops don't have a fully enclosed fabrication facility like we do. We have, hundreds of tools, and we have just an amazing facility that these guys, when they walk in, a lot of people are intimidated by. So we like to take the guy that has less experience and train them to become, what we feel is our standard. Some of the team building things that we also do, we'll shut the shop down to go watch a new movie comes out. Like when Avengers 2 just came out, we shut everything down. The whole crew went, we had a great day. We'll go do a bowling night. Every year I let the guys go out on a big fishing trip and they go out and get some king salmon or some halibut. You know, a lot of you guys down there don't understand what that is, but it's a big deal up in Alaska. Anyway, I guess the bottom line of it is it's something that we just really, really embrace. You know, I've been here for 19 years. I've been in the industry 27 years, and I've taken everything I've learned from a lot of people, and I try to make Perfectionist the best atmosphere it can be for employees, because really we started young, and this is the future of our industry. You know, and I don't need just an employee to get me through remote start season, or I don't need an employee just to kind of be here temporarily. I want to have people come, and I want them to learn and build and make a career out of this, you know? So that's something that pushes me. I always believe that the minute you quit learning or, you know, have fun at your job, it's time to move on. And so I have to keep pushing myself to get better so that I can have them try to strive for more greatness, you know? So I, as an entrepreneur, create more businesses, you know, not a shameless plug, but SoundSkins is a big company now. We're growing all over the world. We do distribution in Australia and New Zealand, and we have manufacturing. I mean, there's a lot of things, and these are things that I get to teach my guys about that I would love to see, you know, a 20-year-old turn into a 30-year-old and then become an entrepreneur. And, you know, and maybe not in this industry, but maybe they are in this industry. And if I could, you know, help somebody with that and change their life, then that's my purpose. That's what I'm here for, you know. So I'm lucky enough to fly around the country, and I go to people's shops and I try to help them with their businesses. Maybe I'm teaching them accounting. Maybe I'm teaching them, you know, how to walk into the showroom and get this great experience, you know. But a lot of people, you know, sometimes it's just that one thing that changes it. And anyway, so I feel like store culture stems from the top. And so by me giving my staff no limitation because of everything that we provide, and I love imagination, and I'm not a micromanager, I feel like these guys have grown into amazing people, amazing staff, very creative, and, you know, for a lot of the brands that we carry, you know, we're retailer of the year for a lot of them. For example, for CompuStar, we've been the #1 retailer in the world since 2005. That's a huge thing to say. So we take a lot of pride in that, and we want to have guys that take pride, you know, and women that take pride. So I feel like if you come into my store anytime, you'll see that aspect that is pride. You know, we take pride. We're part of the community, which is huge, because Anchorage is a small community. You got 300,000 people, but if you ask somebody in this town where to go to, it's me or one other guy, and that's about it. And the other guy has 30 years, you know, so I'm still working on it. Anyway, that's part of our store culture, you know, from uniforms to presence to how we treat people. You know, we be our own customer. You know, another rule I learned was, you know, all things being equal, the customer buys on price. So we wanted to create an atmosphere that's not equal. So those are things that we look at, and I think that that's important. And I feel like if a lot of retailers did that, there'd be a lot more successful retailers, especially in this day and age when the industry is tough and the economy is tough. So anyway, I appreciate you guys taking a listen. You know, I hope you love my store as much as I love it. We got a big future next year. We got already planning our big 20th anniversary barbecue. So if you want to come up to Alaska, we'd love to have you. I appreciate it. Thank you for the consideration.